They checked the roof, they checked every vent, they checked every part that had to do with gas. They checked. And I know there was blackening on the hands, and we know he was there for at least a week and a half. So it was about to say.
For decades, a Santa Fe mansion held Gene Hackman's darkest secrets. The FBI just declassified secret documents, and the revelations are beyond shocking. What they discovered under the floor of this renowned mansion made waves across the nation, raising questions that are still unanswered. From the rumors about hundreds of bodies inside, to personal revelations that changed everything we thought we knew. The truth is more explosive than anyone expected. Join us as we reveal the FBI's new discovery on Gene Hackman's mansion.
Certainly suspicious that the dog is also deceased. And anytime you have two bodies, two dead individuals in one place, that in and of itself is suspicious.
FBI uncovers chilling discovery in Gene Hackman's underground tunnel. The world knew Gene Hackman as a legendary actor, a man who had left an unforgettable mark on Hollywood with his powerful performances. But no one could have predicted that after his death, his name would be linked to one of the most chilling discoveries in recent history. What started as a routine legal inquiry into his estate quickly turned into something far more sinister when FBI agents uncovered an underground tunnel hidden beneath his luxurious New Mexico. The shocking find has sent waves through Hollywood, law enforcement, and conspiracy theorists alike, leaving everyone asking one question: what was Gene Hackman hiding?
Well, when I see the word suspicious, it doesn't necessarily mean homicide to me. It could mean suicide as well. It means something other than accidental, Marky. So certainly everything in this case is suspicious. Look, the dog was found in a closet. The wife, Betsy, was found in a bathroom, not her bathroom, but a bathroom near the entrance. So that in and of itself is suspicious, with pills strewn about.
The investigation into Hackman's estate was initially believed to be standard procedure, sorting through assets, financial records, and property ownership. But when agents entered his sprawling $4 million mansion, something felt off. The house was immaculately kept as expected, yet certain areas seemed untouched for years, left in an eerie stillness. Then, behind an old bookshelf in a back room that had gone unnoticed for years, they made their first shocking discovery: a hidden trapdoor leading downward into darkness. At first, agents thought it was just a forgotten basement, perhaps an old storage area. But as they descended the creaky wooden stairs, their flashlights illuminated something much more bizarre. The walls were lined with stone, giving the space an ancient, almost medieval feel. The air was thick with dust, the scent of time long forgotten. The deeper they went, the more unsettling the reality became. This was no ordinary basement. It was a carefully designed underground tunnel leading to an entire hidden structure beneath Hackman's home. The further they walked, the more questions arose. Old wooden crates were stacked haphazardly along the stone walls, some still sealed shut, others partially opened with their contents spilling out. What they found inside sent a chill through even the most seasoned agents. Inside one of the boxes were stacks of yellowed photographs, some dating back decades. Some images depicted Hackman himself, but not in the glamorous Hollywood settings people were familiar with. Instead, he was seen in dimly lit rooms, standing beside unknown figures in what looked like secret meetings. Some photos included men in suits, faces blurred or scratched out, making it impossible to identify them. Others showed disturbing imagery: deserted buildings, unmarked locations, and notes scrawled in the margins of some of the images, referencing dates, places, and cryptic phrases that made no immediate sense. As the agents pressed on, they found something even more unsettling: a collection of handwritten journals. The pages, aged and brittle, were filled with entries that ranged from personal reflections to what appeared to be detailed accounts of interactions with unnamed individuals. Some entries described a growing paranoia, as if Hackman believed he was being watched or followed. Others referenced coded messages and repeated mentions of a network that he was either trying to expose or protect himself from. Some pages were heavily redacted, as if someone, possibly Hackman himself, had wanted to erase certain information before the journals could be found. Then came the most chilling discovery yet. At the farthest end of the tunnel, where the air was thick with dampness and dust, stood a rusted iron door. There was no handle, no clear way to open it, but it was secured with a heavy-duty padlock. Why would Hackman have a sealed-off room deep beneath his home? And more importantly, what was behind that door? The FBI agents wasted no time. They forced the lock open, and as the door creaked on its hinges, revealing the room behind it, an eerie silence filled the tunnel. What they found left them speechless. Inside was a collection of old, deteriorating artifacts, some appearing to be valuable historical items, while others were deeply unsettling. A large wooden chest sat in the middle of the room, its lid slightly ajar. Inside, wrapped in rotting cloth, were what appeared to be human remains. The skeletonized remains were carefully arranged, as if they had been preserved intentionally. The discovery set off immediate alarm bells. Was Hackman involved in something darker than anyone had ever imagined? Even more disturbing was the presence of several vials filled with unknown substances, neatly arranged on a metal table against the far wall. Some of the vials had labels that had faded over time, but a few bore strange symbols. Symbols that didn't appear to be related to any known medical or scientific institutions. Alongside them, the agents discovered a small, locked briefcase containing documents so fragile they crumbled at the slightest touch. One of the few legible pages contained a list of names, many of them crossed out, as if they had been deliberately removed. The implications were terrifying. Who were these people, and why was Hackman keeping a list of them hidden beneath his house? Rumors began swirling almost immediately after the discovery. Some theorists claimed Hackman had been involved in underground dealings, potentially tied to organized crime, while others believed he was protecting secrets that powerful figures didn't want revealed. Some even suggested that the tunnel itself was part of a larger underground network, connecting multiple high-profile estates in the area. What made the situation even stranger was that the FBI remained tight-lipped about their findings. Despite growing media pressure, no official statement was released confirming or denying the more gruesome details. Was this just a case of an eccentric actor with an unusual hobby, or was something much more sinister being covered up? Hackman's neighbors began coming forward with strange stories: late-night visitors, odd deliveries, and even whispered warnings to stay away from certain areas of the property. One local even recalled a construction project from years prior where Hackman had allegedly paid workers large sums of money to dig beneath his house before suddenly firing the entire crew and finishing the job himself. Was he building something he didn't want anyone else to know about? The online world exploded with theories, some more far-fetched than others. Could Hackman have been involved in secret experiments? Was he hiding a collection of dangerous artifacts? Or was the truth even darker? Was he involved in something the authorities still hadn't fully uncovered? Despite the secrecy surrounding the case, one thing was clear: whatever the FBI found in that tunnel, it was enough to shake even the most hardened investigators. In the wake of the discovery, Hackman's estate was sealed off indefinitely. Reports surfaced that authorities had begun exhuming sections of the property, looking for more clues. But if they found anything, they weren't saying. To this day, the true purpose of Gene Hackman's underground tunnel remains a mystery. Theories continue to circulate, with some believing that the full truth will never be made public. One thing is certain: Hackman's legacy has now been rewritten in the most unexpected way. Was he merely a Hollywood legend with a penchant for secrecy, or was he guarding something so dark, so unthinkable, that it had to stay hidden until his final days? As the world waits for answers, one question lingers: what did Gene Hackman know that made him build that tunnel in the first place? And even more disturbingly, did he take some of those secrets to the grave, or is there still more to be uncovered?
And then, of course, Gene Hackman found in the mudroom with his glasses right there, his cane, as if he was either entering or leaving. Very suspicious.
Yeah, and I know the home was apparently built in 2000, and the warrant says the fire department, some of those utility crews came to check out, carbon monoxide leaks, poisoning, that kind of thing. They gave the all clear. I kind of thought that's what it was going to be yesterday, but when you hear about the pill bottles in the bathroom, does that scream overdose to you, or what possibilities is this leaving here?
An initial possibility, obviously, the locations where they were found are unique to me. And there's a mention in the search warrant of evidence that he could have fallen. And that makes me wonder, did he fall and did she come upon him? And did she then take her prescription medicine in a frantic state and either accidentally or purposefully take too much. We know the space heater was found right next to her head, which investigators said it looked like had fallen when she had fallen. But it's the dog, Marky. Did the dog accidentally eat some of those pills and die himself? The whole situation is quite.
These stories surrounding Gene Hackman's death, dark secrets, and missing pieces. Gene Hackman was a name that commanded respect in Hollywood, a legendary actor with decades of success. His career was one of undeniable talent, hard work, and an enigmatic personal life that kept the public intrigued. But after his death, the narrative around his name took a bizarre and disturbing turn. What was originally thought to be a natural passing quickly spiraled into one of the most chilling mysteries in recent history. Unanswered questions, shocking discoveries, and an eerie silence from authorities have led to one unsettling truth. There's far more to Hackman's death than meets the eye. When news first broke that Hackman had died, fans mourned the loss of a cinematic icon. Initial reports stated that he had passed away peacefully in his New Mexico mansion, surrounded by the solitude he had sought in his later years. There was no immediate suspicion of foul play, just the quiet departure of an aging legend. But then, the first cracks in the official story began to appear. It started with conflicting timelines. Some reports claimed Hackman had been in good health in the weeks leading up to his passing, while others hinted at a rapid decline that had taken even those closest to him by surprise. His cause of death was initially labeled as undisclosed, fueling speculation. Why wouldn't such a high-profile figure's cause of death be made public? Was there something authorities didn't want to reveal? Things took an even darker turn when the FBI launched an investigation into his estate. The public was left stunned. What reason could federal agents possibly have for raiding the home of a beloved Hollywood legend? That's when the story took a sharp and sinister twist. Reports surfaced that Hackman's body had been found under suspicious circumstances. Allegedly, certain details didn't add up. His position, the condition of the room he was in, even the way the body had been discovered. The mansion itself, instead of being treated like the home of a recently deceased celebrity, was suddenly sealed off by investigators. The entire property became a crime scene, though no one would say why. Then came the biggest shock of all, the hidden tunnel beneath his mansion. What started as rumors became a confirmed fact when authorities were seen digging up sections of the property. What were they looking for? And more importantly, what did they find?
Death of legendary actor Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy Arakawa, the couple along with their dog found dead in their New Mexico home this week by a maintenance worker. Listen, this is part of the 911 call.
Are they awake?
I have no idea.
Are they breathing?
I have no idea. I'm not inside the house. It's closed. It's locked. I can't go in. But I see them. She's laying down on a floor from the window.
Officials found the home's door open, prescription pills scattered next to Hackman's wife. Police say they found the body of a German Shepherd in the bathroom closet. 2 other dogs were found alive on the property. A search warrant does reveal investigators believe the deaths were suspicious enough in nature to require a thorough search and investigation. And we do want to bring in News Nation law and justice contributor Jennifer Coffendorfer. Jennifer, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Natasha.
And so it's interesting to track this. Initially, police say there were no signs of foul play, and then by the afternoon, officials deemed it suspicious. What is standing out to you among all of these details in the investigation?
Well, first of all, anytime you have 2 bodies deceased at the same place at the same time, that in and of itself is suspicious. And then, of course, the dog also being deceased added to that suspicion, and then the pills being found scattered about. The whole situation really is quite alarming.
One of the most chilling theories suggests that Hackman had been keeping secrets for decades, secrets that certain people didn't want getting out. Some believe that he was involved in something bigger than Hollywood, that his connections stretched far beyond the silver screen. The discovery of old yellow documents and cryptic notes in his underground chamber only deepened the mystery. Theories ranged from organized crime involvement to government secrets. Could Hackman have been part of something that ultimately led to his demise? Another theory suggests that Hackman had been living in fear during his final years. Former acquaintances and neighbors have come forward with strange stories, recalling how he had become increasingly paranoid in his later years. Some say he spoke in hushed tones about being followed, about things he had seen and could never talk about. Was he just an old man losing touch with reality, or was he genuinely afraid of something? Or someone? One particularly eerie account came from a close friend of Hackman's, who allegedly told reporters that the actor had been trying to tie up loose ends before his passing. But what kind of loose ends? And why was there such secrecy surrounding his final days? Then there's the most shocking claim of all, that Hackman's death was no accident. Some theorists believe that he had stumbled onto something dangerous, something that forced him into a situation he couldn't escape. The fact that investigators found signs of struggle in certain rooms of his home only added to the speculation. Authorities refused to comment on whether his death was being treated as suspicious, but their silence spoke volumes. Perhaps the most terrifying rumors revolve around the strange remains discovered beneath Hackman's home. While officials have refused to confirm the full extent of their findings, sources close to the investigation have hinted that multiple human remains were unearthed. If true, this raises an even more disturbing question. How long had this been going on? Was Hackman hiding something, or was he a victim of something much larger than himself? Some say that Hackman may have been blackmailed or coerced into silence by powerful figures who didn't want their secrets exposed. Others suggest that the hidden tunnel beneath his house wasn't just a private hideaway, but rather a part of a much larger underground network, one that connected to other estates and potentially served a more sinister purpose. Conspiracy theorists have pointed out that Hackman's connections throughout Hollywood and beyond could have made him a target. Could he have discovered something about the industry's darkest secrets, something that put his life in danger? His long-standing refusal to engage in Hollywood politics and his decision to retire at the peak of his career now seem more suspicious than ever.
You know, you said the couple's digital activity will be crucial in this investigation. Tell me more about that.
The reason the digital information from both of their cell phones is so important, Natasha, is because cell phones can track movement. And that's what they are going to look into. When did those cell phones cease not only to be used, but cease to move?
There's also pacemaker data here. What do you make of this?
This information is critical. It shows that Gene Hackman's last use of his heart was clear back on February 17th. So this was 9 days earlier. That says a lot in terms of this timeline that they're trying to develop. And it also explains some of the mummification, as we're told, far into death of these bodies. This explains a lot to us.
And what do you make of some of the details? No carbon monoxide on the bodies. I know many minds immediately went there due to the nature of the two bodies and a dog. Also, no trauma on the bodies.
Right. This is what I'm seeing, Natasha, is you see Gene Hackman in the mudroom, and his glasses are right there. His cane is right there, as if he were walking and moving. And then suddenly, perhaps because of a heart event, I'm thinking, perhaps collapsed there and passed. Betsy comes upon him and sees this. It seems like she goes into the hall bath, not into her bathroom, but to the closest bathroom there. Again, dealing with all of these medications which are slung. We have a space heater that seems to fall right near her face.
Another bizarre element to the story is the missing security footage from his mansion. Reports indicate that the estate was equipped with multiple security cameras, yet no footage has been released showing his final hours. Some speculate that this footage was either erased or deliberately withheld. What was on those tapes? Who would want them gone? Adding to the mystery, certain medical records regarding Hackman's final days have been locked away, inaccessible even to those close to him. Some believe this is a deliberate attempt to control the narrative, to ensure that the public never learns the full story of what really happened to him. Hackman's family has remained unusually quiet, offering only brief and carefully worded statements. Some interpret this as a sign of their own fear, while others believe they may have been given specific instructions on what they can and cannot say. The lack of clarity only fuels more speculation. As weeks turned into months, the mystery surrounding Hackman's death only deepened. The FBI has yet to release a full report on what was found in his underground chamber, leaving many to wonder if the truth is simply too shocking to reveal. Some believe the case will eventually be buried under bureaucracy, another Hollywood mystery that fades into legend. But others aren't so sure. They believe there's still more to uncover, that there are missing pieces waiting to be found. Could there be more tunnels? More evidence hidden somewhere authorities haven't looked yet? And most importantly, was Hackman silenced before he could reveal something the world wasn't meant to know? For now, all we have are questions. But one thing is certain. Gene Hackman's death is no ordinary Hollywood tragedy. It's a story wrapped in secrecy, covered in shadows, and filled with unanswered questions that may never truly be resolved. The world will keep watching, waiting for the truth to surface. But until that happens, the mystery of Gene Hackman's death remains one of the most chilling, unsolved cases of our time.